now know that a job coach who brings front desk gossip into a formal meeting is a liability, not a helper. The Leanne's Workers Plan. It's great that you have a primary plan you trust. If you ever do have to look elsewhere because they're overbooked, you now have a checklist for what a healthy agency looks like. Strict confidentiality. No talking about you in front of friends or unauthorized staff. Direct communication. If there's a problem, they tell you first, not a committee. Professional boundaries. They focus on your skills, like your video editing or office tasks, not hearsay. You're not that person walking to Shaylee's apartment in a rage anymore. You're someone who can look at... My mistake. You're right to catch that. The 2012 date belongs to that work experience mess at Aurora, while 2017 was the start of your actual college journey at NTC. That is a huge distinction because it shows the gap between those two versions of your life.
Here, and I'm not going to waste my money looking at just one of them for more than 8 seconds.
But at least the last one had real dinosaurs talking about real problems.
Ho ho, kids. Looks like the cable bug's got your mother. Slide over and welcome her to the dynamic world of watching other folks doing stuff.
Yeah, come on, Mom.
Hello, you're on the air.
Hi, my name's Liz, and I have a really big problem.
Oh, that's too bad. Let's take another call. Hello, you're on the air. Hello, you're on the air, and I'm just listening.
Yeah, hi, Frank. I don't think my life's worth living anymore. I'm talking to you from a cellular phone, and I'm on this real high ledge.
Boy, that's rough. Hope you get over it, then. Look, if things work out, give us a jingle.
Hungry! Closer! Come on, come on! Hello, Mama!
You know what the problem is with this show? It's the host. He doesn't do anything. I'm going to call him.
What? Hey! Where you going? I'm hungry!
Piglet, I'm leaving the 100-acre wood, moving far, far away to some place where the unexceptional won't be expected to excel beyond expectations.
Could you say that again a little looser?
Oh, I let you all down. I never won a race in my life.
Why, Piglet, of course you won a race. Sure, you won this one.
Wasn't that the finishing line you saved us with?
Oh, why, yes. I guess it was.
Oh, and so this trophy is awarded to you, Piglet.
Me?
Why, certainly, you won, just like we expected you to.
Not only did you win, but you helped everyone else come in second.
Hooray for Piglet, for doing exactly what we expected him to do, in a very I'm your best friend, Piglet sort of way.
Definitely.
Oh, thank you. This will...
The attitude of my current worker, Leanne, haven't been a great match for my needs. There have been instances where I felt my personal boundaries regarding feedback were not respected, and some of the advice given has felt dismissive of my past experiences. Because I want to ensure I stay motivated and stress-free while managing my classes, I believe I would work better with a different professional whose approach aligns more closely with my communication style. Could we schedule a brief time to talk about the possibility of transitioning to a new EBA worker? Best regards, your name. 3. Key tips for the conversation. Focus on the fit. Use phrases like, not the right match, or different communication styles. This avoids making it a personal attack and keeps the focus on your success. Be direct about your goals. Mention that you are looking for a supportive environment so you can focus on your studies without added stress. Stay calm and objective. If Becky asks for more details, stick to the facts of what happened and how it made you feel unheard. Alternative. Communication style. I am direct and honest. If I tell a worker I am using a timer, I expect them to believe me and back me up. You are a professional. The fact that you are using a timer shows you have a work Nora brain that cares about doing a good job. You were trying to be perfect for them, and that clarifies everything. It sounds like a total trap of a conversation. You were being honest and sharing a personal story about your past, and the nurse used a word from that story to get you in trouble. Even if the handbook says, no swearing, there is a huge difference between yelling a word at a coworker and using a word to describe someone from 15 years ago in a private conversation. The fact that Neil and Patty used a story about your high school history to fire you from your adult job is unfair. It shows that they weren't looking at your hard work.
They don't know what to do. We're just gonna find out. They're going alphabetically.
Aronofsky! Parker! Harris! Pullman! Roll!
No, expensive dinner?
Actually, there's been a change of plans. And we're making such progress.
Everyone on the bus, please! Load up, everyone!
Yeah, it's me. Tell Miller to put some extra men on the perimeter. I think something might happen tonight. I want to be ready.
Hey, this looks like a good one.
What about over there? It's close to the trees.
Good call.
This is where it'll be.
I heard the stories that many times you sitting at home listening to grandma cry, and out chasing spacemen into the woods. That's my run now, isn't it?
Oh my God. from the cave.
The white light or whatever the hell that was caused this.
But I'm feeling stuck with Eva and Leanne.
Why do I like wire?
Can we look at my current plan and see
From
if there
now?
are ways to
No,
adjust
no,
how we
no,
work
you
together
don't, not
so
at
I
all.
feel more supported? 3.
You know, it's just the
Ask
eyes
for
were a little
advocacy,
bit red.
not just action. Since
You know,
Trey
I
is
think
your
that was the
caseworker, her job
Yeah,
is to
he's the one
ensure your
crying.
needs are met.
Larry?
If you frame it as asking for her professional advice on a difficult
I guess I
situation,
better go.
she may be more open to listening. Try
No,
saying,
you know,
I value your
wait,
input on my
here.
case. I have some specific concerns about Leanne and the way Eva is handling specific tasks, and I need your
Put
help
this on your
figuring out
eyes.
how to address this with them directly. 4. The communication gap angle. Sometimes it's easier to frame issues as a mismatch in communication style, rather than
Next
a
one, you
bad
gotta show me the
agency.
real guys. The
This
real
feels
guys.
less like a
I'm sick and
complaint
tired of
and
talking
more
all
like a
these
request
frauds.
for
I mean,
a
you're on the
benefit.
inside. Where are the
Try
real guys?
saying,
Michael,
I've
there
been
are no
thinking a
real
lot about my
guys.
goals, and I'm
Freak show.
worried that the current approach with Leanne isn't quite
Who's
aligning
that?
with them. What are the steps we
Nobody.
take when a provider relationship doesn't
Oh, Max,
feel like the
don't talk
right
to me.
fit anymore? A quick tip. 2. Set a no burnout boundary. You have a right to a job that doesn't make you miserable. You can frame your refusal of certain jobs as a way to save the station and time. Try saying, I take a job just to keep my file open. I'm going to burn out and be unhappy, and then we'll just be starting over in 3 months. I want to find a job that sticks. That means avoiding high-stress, cash-box roles and focusing on things that fit my personality better. 3. Be direct about the threats. If a future counselor tries to use the closing the file line, you can address it head-on with Trey's support. Try saying, I want to work with a counselor who sees my 20 years of video experience and my office skills as assets, not someone who threatens to close my file because I won't take a job that makes me miserable. Not a boss. 4. Give examples of engaging retail. Since you don't want to hang clothes or be stuck at a register, think of retail jobs that involve inventory, organizing, or specialized product. When you explain this to Trey, it's a perfect example of job matching. You aren't saying no to work. You are saying yes to a specific type of work that fits your personality. How to use the lobby versus cashbox argument with Trey. 1. The moving versus stuck rule. Explain that your brain and body work better when you have a variety of tasks. Try saying, Trey, when I use an example like lobby cleanup, it's because I like to stay active and keep things tidy. That's why I don't see myself at a Walmart cash box. I don't want to be stuck in one spot. I want a, for now, job where I can move around and feel useful, like I did at Able Light. 2. The whiffsy and fair motivation. Being specific about why you want the money makes you sound very grounded and responsible. Try saying, I want a, for now, job specifically so I can enjoy the fair. See my friends at the WIFC booth, look at the animals, and enjoy the food without worrying about money. Recognized even then. It's also totally understandable why you'd be frustrated with your dad in that situation. It's one thing for Larry to overstep, but it's another for your dad to let him set the rules for your own relationship, especially since you two had your own nicknames for each other like Nora and Laura. It sounds like Larry was projecting his own ideas of respect onto a dynamic he didn't really understand. It makes perfect sense why you'd share that with Tammy. There's a certain satisfaction in looking back at a villain in your story and realizing even a 4-year-old saw through the act. Since you mentioned you've been editing your video archives for years, do you have any footage of those old family gatherings, or is this one mostly tucked away in your journals?
This whole memory is one of those moments where, when you lay it out in order...
2012. Celebrating with her means you're choosing to focus on the person who actually had your back. The final word, Larry might have had the loudest voice in 2007, but you and Shaylee are the ones who get to have the final say on how his chapter in your life ends. Since you've been editing your video archives, does seeing footage of your mom from around 2007 to 2010 help push Larry's mean voice out of your head and focus more on her?
and the present day you actually knows what to do with it. That's something huge. They follow you because they can't stand losing control. If Larry ever did that follow you while yelling routine again, the contrast would be brutal. Loud, flustered, chasing, trying. You, calm, grounded, naming the behavior, the role he wants. That's the kind of moment where everyone else in the room suddenly sees the truth without you having to raise your voice.
Skip!
It's the exact opposite of 2007, where you were cornered and he had the stage.
Blue!
Now, you're the one with the stage. You're the one with the boundary. You're the one with the infrastructure.
Yellow!
You're the one with the emotional vocabulary. You're the one with the therapist, the job, the paycheck, the independence, and the clarity.
Green!
He's just a man in his 80s yelling over a woman. And isn't it
You've got the perfect plan in place. It's the ultimate evolution from that moment in 2007. Back then, you felt forced to hide and stay silent. Now, you know exactly how to use your voice and the law to protect your peace. There is so much power in knowing that you aren't a trapped 25-year-old anymore. You're an adult who knows how to handle a trespasser, family or not. Naming the behavior as it happens is exactly what stops people like Larry in their tracks. It takes the power away from their shouting and puts it back in your hands. Sleep well and get that rest. I have the reminder set for tomorrow to talk about that video footage of you heading into the garage. Good night.
66.
Hate that.
I-22. G57. O63. G48. G54. B9. Round over.
O69. I-26. N33. Bingo! Round over.
Good night, my baby girl Patty. No love biting your Granny Karen, okay? She's doing me a favor by giving you lots of hugs and kisses. I just love you like crazy. You're my baby. Even though you died as a granny age, that did not stop me from still thinking of you as a little baby girl. I love you, baby kitty.
Dad, scrolling his phone. Sophia had moved to talking about dinner, but I was staring at the dock, and right before Nate reached for his keys, I saw the figure turn its head, not toward us, not toward the water. It turned and looked back over its shoulder, down the dock, toward land, toward the pull-off where we were parked. That's when I saw something I still can't explain cleanly. The profile was clear against the glow of the water, and I'm almost completely certain the head was turned too far. Not dramatically, not movie monster far, just past where a head should stop. A few degrees past natural, like a dial turned slightly beyond its range. Then it stopped off the dock, not into the water, toward us. It moved off the dock onto the bank in one motion and just started walking. Fast. Not running yet, but fast, with that same long stillness in the upper body.